So we were talking about how do you deal with your customers? Like most of the time, how it happen? Do when they come see you, do do they have something in their mind? Like do they have a product? Do they have what I mean? What they really need?
Well, most of the times, the client comes with ideas of what they like, or sometimes just blank. So I, as the designer, have to um, help them, put them online, and show them different ideas, draw it out, sketch it out for them, and kind of channel their thoughts to my own ideas of what, you know, I'm thinking is going through their mind. And most of the time, it turns out to be that they really like it. So, and the end result is usually
What you want? I mean,
what they want and makes them very happy.
yeah. So and for example, when you enter like the school of designing, right? So I mean, you've been in this country for like a very
Many
long
years.
time,
Yeah.
many years, and you're American, like Nigerian American.
Nigerian,
And how, for example, your experience, right, with the design or making clothes. So before going to that school, did you have like a base? Did you have like a background on designing, or somebody was doing designing in your family, or how did you get it? How did you get in there?
Funny enough, nobody in my family's into art.
Oh, yeah?
I just built up a love for art as a kid, even before coming to America. I wanted to be a cartoonist.
Oh,
I
yeah?
love to draw animations and yeah, so I came to America just on that, basis of just liking to draw. And I remember talking to a counselor, and they said I should go into graphic design. So I went to the school of graphic design, but I didn't finish. But going back to the question, what actually took me into fashion was my dad wanted me to be a model at the age of 16. So I modeled for some designers in California, and one morning I just woke up and said, I think I want to go to design school, fashion design school. And so I did the search and found the school. I went to Otis College. And it was very expensive, private school. And, worked myself into it. I'm a go-getter. So I made sure that I got all the loans, all the financial abilities to be able to go there. And that's how I became a fashion designer.
Yeah, and since you've been there, I read your biography. Huh? You work for like for some seven
For all mankind.
for all mankind.
Yes.
I know that the jeans brand.
Yes.
I wear some of them before.
Very expensive.
Yeah, they are very expensive.
Yeah.
They are very expensive, and I remember I was in California back then, and I had a woman. One day when she saw me with one of those jeans, she said, "How can you wear a jean brand of $300?" I said, "Well, I didn't know they were so expensive. I had them in second hand." You got to shop smart. If you go, for example, to a Ross store, you can have stuff in the second hand, and
Yes.
and for
You
sure,
buy them on sale and
yeah.
they
If
do
if if you have to go, for example, I don't know, for Calvin Klein store, if you have to buy them over there, they are very expensive. But you can find them in Ross, and Ross is like the second hand.
Yes.
So that's where
They're just out of season. That's why
yes,
they go into
that's where some people like me go shopping sometimes. So you
When
gotta
you're
shop smart.
Yeah.
It's not only about money. Even if
Yes.
even if I was a multi-billionaire, I will still not spend my money like
On all that. There are
without
hungry
thinking.
children in the world.
Yes. So when you went to Seven Mankind, I mean Seven for all the mankind, and what did you really get from there? Like I know the salary is good sometimes, And I know. So, what did you get? What experience, and how do you use that experience in your business?
Good question. Yes. So Seven from All Mankind is a big company, and I was hired to be the associate designer. So all I was responsible for doing is draw the designs, come up with new designs, go shopping. Yes, designers go shopping, and just bring in new ideas. And to meet the market, to meet the target customer. And so, but when you work for a big company, you could either decide to learn or just stay in your own little space and don't learn anything. But what I did was I would walk through the halls. I made friends with people that did EDI. That means, when you design and needs to ship to the stores, when the buyers buy it, the people that take care of all that. So I learned a little about those people, how stuff gets to the store, the process. I also learned about having in-house production. That's people that will make the samples, because we had to deal with them too. So we the designers would design, then we would give it over to the sample makers, the pattern makers, and then also I learned about the wash, because jeans, has different washes, different fit. We would sit in there and learn and fit the clothes on the models. So there was a lot that I learned, even going back into the quality control. People that inspect the garments when they come back from China, mass produce it before shipping it to the store. So that I pretty much tried to, because I knew one day I would own my own business. And so I was fortunate to be blessed to at least think about learning as much as I can in a short time that I was there, about how the whole process works. It's a big process. So I would, go around, walking around and asking questions. And
So it was a little bit like an internship for you then.
yeah, well,
I mean, a paid
you
internship.
paid it. Yeah, you paid to do your job, but you can. I think it's really wise for upcoming designers and just people working in the industry, just not to focus on only what you do, but to learn the whole.
The craft on
You
from
never
other
know
people.
where you might be. I knew I would own my business one day, but I wasn't thinking it would come as fast as it did. So I'm grateful that at least I was able to have basic knowledge, of the way the fashion industry works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you had the skill, but you still have to know the market and all that.
Yes,
So-
which is huge.
Yes. So the second part of my question was, how do you apply it to your business? So
Okay.
how do you use your experience from big
Companies.
companies to your small business? I mean, I know your business will grow, but
Yes.
from now it's still a small business. So how do you really apply those roles to what you're doing now?
Good question. Yes, like you said, it's not as big as Seven for Mankind. There are a lot of things that we're not into. But what I learned is I learned about the buyers. You need to be friends with the buyers. They're the ones that get you into stores. So my journey and experience right now, even though I'm not dealing with buyers at the moment, but will end up doing that hopefully before the end of the year, is that at least designing the clothes. I've worked with my sample makers, which is also what I learned working with sample makers, understanding China and the trade between China and the U.S. Also working with customers, because right now my buyers are my clients. They're the ones that come to me, pick out what they want, and that's the trade-off, right? So they are like my buyers. So when that time comes working with buyers, it'll, it's on a different level, but at least that experience is still current.
Mm-hmm.
So working with sample makers is what I currently do. Learning that from them. I don't currently work with EDI and on a bigger scale, not yet.
Yeah.
But all that is in there, and also there's I have to keep learning as the market changes too. What they did back then is not really how they
Yeah,
do
you
it now.
gotta-
Technology has taken over.
Yeah.
Things are done faster. And also when that time comes, we're gonna hire expertise in that field. You can't do it all.
Yeah.
So at least having the basic knowledge.
Yes, and you have to stay on point, like updating
Yes,
yourself all the
updating.
time.
Yes, yes.
But the skill is there, like at least you have the skill already, but you have just to, update maybe the new rules of the market.
Yes, the new rules.
So actually, you are a black person, and
Yes, I know.
the black market is, when I say black market, I'm not saying the shitty market, meaning black people in fashion it's been a big issue, because I've been interviewing fashion designer from the black diaspora, um, model as well, and what come up is there is a need to be seen more, and be seen more mean more opportunity, and you as a young designer getting into the industry, do you really have a plan to, make, black fashion, if I can say black fashion, be seen better? I know it's been hard on for other, uh, let's say, other designs because, for example, the Chinese they have the same problem. You don't see Chinese clothing too much around the world.
Yes.
So, but I think African people have, those who have African roots, they have more chance because they have a market and that is getting huge because you got over 1 billion people in Africa now and you have the diaspora and you have those people sometimes who like to wear those African clothes. So, how do you think you're going to tackle this market that is coming your way because people are getting more and more interested in African clothing? So, do you have a plan? Are you ready, really to tackle this new demand that is coming your way?
I love the question because my designs is the ideology about my designs is going back to the roots. So I learned in school I learned the Western way of designing. Now I looked at it that okay, how can I differentiate myself as an African woman, a designer, and bringing my roots because I love our fabrics. Our fabrics are just beautiful, like what I have on now. The print. They're loud, they're colorful, but there's a way you can marry both of them. So my theme is Western meets African fabric, and pretty much like what I'm wearing, it's a Western silhouette with an African touch to it. So I do understand, as you've said rightly, it's hard for us to just bring in our culture, and put it into Western and for the Westerners to embrace it because they don't understand it and it's a little loud for them. But the ways that I've come up with my designs is I have like wool jackets that are made out of wool in the Western way and just has accents or details with the African print. So, and I've looked at, a handful of potential clients that like that look, and they've embraced it because what I did was I used more of the wool, which keeps it safe for them, but then just add accents. If it's just the collar or just a little part of the sleeve that has the print fabric on it, and it ties together and looks very new, interesting for the Western world to embrace that. And wherever you see that, you as an African will understand that's a print from Africa. But it has been used so wisely and on a safer level, so we have our touch. So, and that's what I'm all about. My designs is all about not just Western, but also going back to my roots and introducing it slowly. For those that don't want all over print jacket, for the whites to also embrace that too.
Yeah. And beside the colorful clothes, I think also you got those designs. For example, I have this guy that is in France. For example, those pants that are a little bit heavy right on the center. Like those. Okay. So this, for example, is an African style that has been taken all over the world, and so you got, beside the colorful thing, I think you still have the style. You still have the I don't know, the craft, the way African people craft the clothes. That can be very interesting because I really think that sometimes it's true we have the sun in Africa, we have the sun, we have the sea, we have the forest, and sometimes they love all those yellowish colors. But at the same time, we have to, I think, in my opinion, that African designer or African descent designer should bring the craft, not only the color. The color is good, but the craft also is better. I mean, this is my opinion.
Techniques, right?
Yeah, the techniques, the style. And talking about, for example, what else I want to ask you, your business, and how is, I know you have a very good community, an African community that might come to you all the time. But how is the relation between you and the rest of the customer? So do they? I mean, what type of customer you have, and when they come to you, what do they want? So, but first about what type of customer you have, like.
Well, my ready to wear. So the line is into two segments. One is the ready to wear, and one is the custom design. So the custom design is the clients are mostly African descendants, and I do have some American, Black American, also a very small percentage of whites, but mostly I would say 95% is African. And they're the ones that patronize a lot because they do parties, every weekend, every other weekend.
And they need to look good.
They need to look very good. They look glamorous. They look like Hollywood stars on the red carpet. And that's what keeps me busy every week, on and on, for the past 5 years. I've been doing that for my clients. So those are the kind of clients that come in a lot to me. The African Americans that I have as clients are people that like to dress up too. Maybe they're going to a special occasion. The ready to wear line is online for people to order. So people order directly from there in their sizes like you would do in a regular store. So that's the kind of clients that I have.
Yeah, so the ready to wear is for all mankind. Everybody can go there.
Yes, anyone can go there, pick a size, and we'll have it ready for you in a week and a half and shipped to your house. Yes.
So how long it takes for somebody to
from ordering to
from
get it, yeah, about a week and a half.
okay.
They'll get it.
So when so how it works, because I don't know. So is it working like is it ready to wear, but at the same time it's like custom made? So when somebody orders something, do they tell you their size? Do they tell you how tall they are, how big they are,
No, it's like
or they just pick the size, or they just order and they don't? So how does it work? I mean, I don't understand.
yeah, it's like shopping online.
Yeah.
It's not custom made because it's a size running from small to extra large.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you just pick a size, and the next step for us is also the option to pick fabric. So if you like it in, let's say, a wool jacket, you like it in blue instead of red, we're gonna give that option. The print stays the same because that's a special, that's a special kind of fabric. So, but you just pick your size like you would, go to a store, pick a size, and there are measurement guides. So, if you are not sure if you're a medium, you would look at the measurement guide and at least have an idea of how it would fit on you. So you don't have to go through the hassle of returning and all that.
Okay. So what is your goal, for the future, for this year, upcoming year? Because it's a new year, it's a new challenge, and so what are your goals for this year, and what are your goals for your business? What is your schedule for the few next month?
Yeah.
Do you have another, I don't know, fashion show in mind?
Yes, lots of fashion shows.
Oh.
There's a New Year resolution, and we hope to keep it up. But the year is gonna burst out with lots of fashion shows. We're looking at New York, LA, Miami. Those are out of Seattle area. But within Seattle area, we have two shows coming up. One in February, which is the Ebony Fashion Week. We're also looking at the Black Panther, which will happen in March. It's still under works, but this year definitely we're doing big shows.
It's a busy year.
Yes, it's a busy year. It's a year that we're wanting to get into the stores. Lots of promotions, lots of big envisions that we're gonna get out there and make it big. We've done the work. It's time for us to get out into the stores and begin to make headline news.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh well, hola Yinka, and thank you. Flash Mag and his readership are very happy to have you today as an interviewer, and it's been a pleasure for me to have you as a guest, and hopefully, yeah, and we see you some more around, and all the best.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.